Hello my loves, welcome back to my channel. We have a very interesting topic today and I have been thinking of making such a video for quite some time. I wanted to just sit down and talk about the evolution of our beauty industry. I've been in this industry for a very long time. I'm literally a grandma right now and I've seen the ups and downs of this beauty industry. I've seen what worked, what came into complete fame, went completely viral, what went completely out of the scene. I've seen it all, you guys, and it's just I'm also evolving along with the evolution that the beauty industry is going through basically. So in this video, which I plan to make this part 1 and part 2, I wanted to talk about some of the beauty brands that have really stood the test of time and has really made such a significant difference in our industry. As of today, in 2025, beauty industry and beauty brands have kind of understood that everybody has the right to enjoy their skincare and makeup. So you've got to keep it affordable. And if you are keeping it in a price range, you have to give them top-notch formulation that is going to wow them. So you can't fool anybody anymore. And that's what I have understood about the beauty industry. So in this series, I'm going to be talking about a few brands, international and Indian brands, that are really speaking out loud, taking up space, and are actually making a difference in so many ways. So let's begin. So grab that cup of coffee, get something to eat, you guys, because this is going to be slightly of a bit controversial, at the same time slightly a little lengthy video, but I promise my take is going to be a little interesting and it's also going to be a little insightful for anybody who's got their eyes on the beauty world. All right, so let's begin. But before I do, you know what to do. Don't forget to hit that button, that subscribe button, be a part of my channel. Come on guys, just be a part of it, because there's going to be a lot of interesting videos coming up. And at the same time, don't forget to follow me on my Instagram page, which is at shwetavijay. Things get a lot heated up there. All right, let's begin. So I'm just taking over a few points from what I discussed before about how consumers are not your average unassuming consumer anymore. They're not clueless about their things. They're more aware, they're more educated on what they want and how they want to spend their coins. I think ever since 2020 happened, in the last decade, I would say that gap that happened between people and the brands on who could buy and who could enjoy beauty, that was filled up by certain brands that really stepped up the game. There were fantastic brands who emerged and gave some superb quality products that were extremely affordable at the same time. So for example, let's start off with the first international brand, and that is Fenty Beauty. What did Fenty Beauty do in the last decade? Oh my gosh, they created a storm out here. They pioneered in inclusivity, and that's what actually made everybody just sit and take notice. Here was a young brand, of course, a celebrity brand that was not your ordinary brand. It is a brand that set the tone and launched 40 shades of foundations and 40 shades of concealer. Nothing that was heard before. And when I talk about for the deep skin tone, there was a big gap for the deeper, richer skin tone. It's always been the case here in India. The times have changed right now. Even the beauty industry, the beauty brands out here are stepping up. But when it came to a universal brand that was catering to the masses, a certain sector of the masses that were not enjoying their makeup, because Fenty Beauty understood that and they gave them exactly what they want. And what I loved about Fenty Beauty was they also understood that it's just not skin color, it was skin tone as well. You've got your warm undertone, neutral, cool undertone, red undertone, olive. They understood all of that and gave the masses a range that they could enjoy. It was revolutionary and never done before. And it is because of Fenty Beauty, now we have got various other brands that are launching 40 plus shades, 50 shades. Brands are they're just going one up against another brand basically in giving more inclusivity to their people, which should have been a conversation that should have started way back. But nevertheless, thank you Fenty Beauty for actually making a difference there. Number 2, Serum, which is The Ordinary's parent company. The Ordinary, another brand. I think I was one of the first few Indian content creators that was talking about The Ordinary when I was in London. I used to talk a lot about Indian brands, but if there was one international brand, if you go way back to my videos, you would know that I was always talking about The Ordinary, because I finally found a brand that was giving you top-notch formula that was extremely affordable. affordable. I mean, they really knew how to merge that gap, that huge wide gap for skincare. In the skincare industry, again, just like makeup, it was just a niche crowd that could enjoy good skincare. And skincare, you were paying $60, $70, $80, sometimes above $100. And they also educated their audience in choosing the right product according to their skin concern. I don't think that was ever heard before. No other skincare brand ever acknowledged that fact. It was, yeah, there is this one product that is really good for hydration. At the same time, it will, cure your acne. But here was The Ordinary segregating each and every skincare ingredient. That I have never seen any brand do except for The Ordinary. These guys came with a bang. We were not as educated about skincare like we are today. So The Ordinary were the first people to help us understand and bridge the gap between affordability and excellent formulation. And what you were getting in hand were fantastic products. If it was a niacinamide, that's exactly you would get. If it was a hyaluronic acid, that's exactly you will get. There was no mixing of the product. Now they have kind of like, they're giving you hybrids of certain formulations, they're mixing it. But at the same time, even today, if you want a niacinamide serum, a pure niacinamide serum, you get that from The Ordinary. If you want a pure hyaluronic acid, you get that. A pure vitamin C, you get that. There were people who've got sensitive skin, who had sensitive skin. They were not able to understand that certain ingredients like a vitamin C would cause allergic reaction. The Ordinary gave them something else like an alpha arbutin or an azelaic acid. That's the beauty of this brand. I absolutely love them, you guys. Number 3 international brand, Rare Beauty. Marvelous products, innovative packaging. I also like the fact that there was a lot of thought process that went behind in the making of the products and at the same time with the packaging. And this brand, again, another celebrity brand, was a brand with a mission. That's what Rare Beauty stands for. And I think it has got to do with Selena Gomez, how she was such an advocate for mental health, just like how Rihanna was an advocate for inclusivity and diverse, skincare, and, just getting a conversation started where everybody was involved. There was no gender bias out there. There was no skin color bias. It was basically a conversation that Fenty started, that makeup should be enjoyed by all. The same thing Rare Beauty also did, but there was also a very heartfelt sort of a conversation that opened up with Rare Beauty. Rare Beauty actually donates 1% of that to the Rare Impact Fund, which actually helps young people, navigate through life when it comes to mental health. And that is supremely impactful in my opinion. So that completes the 3 international brands that made quite an impact. Let's talk about some Indian brands, 3 of them that are also making an impact here in the beauty industry in India. And I have a feeling, you guys, I think in the year 2020, I did mention during lockdown when everybody used to say, why are you supporting Indian brands? Because I used to talk about made in India brands a lot at that time. And I did say this, and it still stands strong right now, that in 2020, I said in the next 5 years, you're going to see the beauty industry out here in India evolve. You're going to get fantastic formulations. You're going to get affordable skincare and makeup that just performs like some high-end skincare and makeup. And it's only going to get better and better. And look what happened. It's so true to the word. My words really aged well. And I would say that give it another 5 more years, another 10 more years. And just like the Korean skincare, you're also going to hear many people talk about Indian skincare. And I'm talking about content creators in the international platform. People, like you'll see foreigners coming down to India and buying Indian skincare. It's not going to be just Ayurveda alone. You're going to have certain brands that are going to be such popular key brands like what Korean brands have. You've got that 4-5 Korean brands. You're going to have the same thing here in India. For example, I know I talk so much about Plum, you guys. I love Plum. I love the team. I love what they innovate. I love everything about them and what they stand for. I think they are so innovative, and what I love about it is how affordable their skincare, their makeup. I adore this brand, and that is why I keep talking about them. I keep working with them because there's so much potential. I knew that from the time I started. I'm just going to insert a picture of my first blog. When I started, even before YouTube, when I was blogging, I lost that website because I got hacked. But this is the picture that I was talking about. I bought it with my own money, and I was obsessed with their green tea range. That's how much I love Plum, and it has just been with me. I mean, it's been one of those brands that I have taken with me from year to year to year ever since I started content creation. And I feel they're getting better and better. They're aging so well, you guys, by giving you such fantastic formulation. Under the umbrella of Plum, you've got so much more right now. You've got Plum goodness. Now they have varied into body care, you know, your body washes, body creams, perfumes. And again, it's fantastic. Again, it's affordable. So for them, I think their main target is the consumer, what they want. They're always listening to feedback. I can't be the first content creator that is already discussing this. I know there are so many because we content creators talk. And I can tell you this, that when it goes into formulation, when they are testing out their product, they actually contact us. They will always send us testers, they'll always send us samples, and they will always ask us for our feedback. And they are so open to constructive criticism. Even if you are there to tell them or make a video saying that I don't like it, they are not one of those brands that shy away from it. They listen. They will actually give that call to you and say, what can we do? How can we change this? What about it didn't work for you? So they are all about taking that sort of criticism, that sort of feedback, and that's why for them their audience is king. They have actually cracked the code in curating products that are on the same par of international brands. And going by the conversations I've had with the team, you know, I feel that they always put their consumers first. For example, their Niacinamide serum. You guys remember this? It's a bestseller from the brand. I absolutely adore it. I think it is definitely one of those top 3 niacinamide serums in India. Extremely gentle. If you've got sensitive skin, this is the one. It is hydrating because of rice water, 10% niacinamide, and it still doesn't cause that sensitivity to your skin. I completely adore the serum. I think it's a great dupe of the Anuar rice ceramide serum. I love it, and I know that sometimes it's very hard to get this, but I feel that if you have tried this Korean bestseller, you are going to love the Plum Niacinamide serum because of the texture, how gentle it is on the skin. Great for people who've got sensitive skin despite having 10% niacinamide. But there is a little difficulty when it comes to their dropper. If you remember, I'm sure many of you all know what I'm talking about. It was not able to kind of like pick up and dispense the product as much. And that was a customer feedback that Plum as a brand heard. It's not a very cheap thing to do, to change completely and revamp the packaging. It's an expensive move for any brand, but I like the fact that they took negative feedback and changed it into something positive. And the positive is that it changed into a pump packaging. And this makes it so much more easier. You're first of all, you know, it attains the quality of the ingredients also, and at the same time, you're enjoying it. It's more travel friendly, there's no slippage, you get just the right amount. And these are the things that just makes Plum, you know, it just makes the brand stand out for me. I love them because of this reason. You know, they're listening, they're always hearing that, and that's very important for a brand to do, especially now that they are established. They could get a little cocky, but they don't. Another example is this 10% vitamin C serum. I've already spoken about this. It is one of the best vitamin C serum that they have formulated. They understood that the 15% was not meant for every skin, especially for me. It just did not suit me at all. And many people who had sensitive skin, 15% did not suit them. And I remember them making that phone call and asking me what went wrong, and I told them exactly that their 15% is not my favorite. What did they do next? They created a whole new product. This is the 10% vitamin C serum. It's got Calendula, it's got ceramides, it's got niacinamide, and they formulated it in such a way with hyaluronic acid that just makes it super hydrating and great for people who have got extremely sensitive skin. My skin loves this so much. The difference that it brings, it is such a beautiful vitamin C. It's remarkable, the formulation, because it's Plum after all, but what is even better is that you're getting fantastic vitamin C serum, niacinamide serum in the affordable category. Do you know that Plum recently signed up with Soman? Soman, you guys. This is a man that actually doesn't enjoy skincare, has never used skincare. Heck, he has never even used sunscreen when he goes for his runs, okay? This was a game changer for the brand to bring Soman on board. It just goes to show that, you know, they were trying to, I think the conversation was like, there's no gender bias out here when it comes to skincare. And at the same time, they invited him to the labs. He understood the formulation, he understood the science behind each and every product, and that is why I think he came on board for their niacinamide serum, and now it's his favorite. So that says something. From their vegan mucin to their hair growth serum to their moisturizers to their face wash, it's such a slam dunk in providing such fantastic formulation in the affordable category. You know what? I can go on and on and on about this brand. I love them so much, and I can even go further on with Plum Body Lovin's products, okay? But that is going to be in my next video, so stay tuned for that. Let's jump into brand number 2 from India that is actually making that noise, and that is Russ Luxury Oils. This is a homegrown Indian brand that has amplified our Indian roots. I love Russ Luxury Oils for their innovative approach towards product development, and I also love how they have combined Ayurveda and science-backed ingredients and create something that is actually fantastic. From their gold elixir oil to their retinol with ashwagandha and peptides. My gosh, you guys, they've got a range that has kind of like balanced both Ayurveda, the goodness of Ayurveda, and science-backed ingredients, and it goes hand in hand, and the formulation is top notch, absolutely wonderful. Again, this is a brand that needs to be celebrated a lot more, because it's so nice to have brands that actually they haven't forgotten their roots, and that's what I like about it. I love Indian brands that are bringing heated conversations to the table. Like for example, if Plum is bringing affordability and top-notch formulations, I like the fact that Russ Luxury has gone back to the roots, and at the same time they're showing people that there are some really good Ayurvedic ingredients when it comes to skincare, when it comes to hair care, that shouldn't be forgotten. And to just balance it off and come to the middle ground and then give you a formulation that is really excellent. Like for example, this particular product, retinol with ashwagandha and peptides, which is my absolute favorite. They've also got a copper peptide with certain ingredients, natural ingredients, again another favorite. Let's move on to another favorite Indian brand that started a conversation, I think almost, they've been here for a decade, but I think in 2020 that's when they stepped up their game, and I'm talking about Juicy Chemistry. Organic skincare and hair care, that's where Juicy Chemistry comes into the game. And when I talk about organic, I'm not talking about kitchen brands, I'm not talking about kitchen formulations. I'm talking about ingredients that have been sourced from ethical places. Top-notch ingredients. For example, if I'm talking about a rose water from Juicy Chemistry, I know for a fact that when I'm spending my money to Juicy Chemistry, from the time that it is planted to the soil, harvested, extracted, and even the people behind it are getting their fair wages. They're all taken care of. That's what I love about the brand and the owner. The ingredients sourced out here is always top notch. They play with such unique ingredients that I've not heard too many do. I'm talking about horsetail seeds, kakadu plum, blood oranges, for example, their deodorants, or their rosehip seed oil, or things like this, like their alpha arbutin. Oh my god, after a very long time, I have enjoyed an alpha arbutin because it's got rice water extract. It's also got licorice, and that is why it just brings about a significant difference to your skin in about 2 weeks. What a fantastic formulation out here. Again, they're mixing some really beautiful organic ingredients along with science-backed ingredients, and they have merged it really beautifully. I love this brand so much because also they have stepped into makeup at the same time. So if you're pregnant, or you know, you're lactating and you're looking out for something that is safe and effective, try their lip and cheek tints, their lipsticks, to their kajals, to their foundations. All are so beautiful, especially their concealers. You know, they have not caused any sort of irritation for me. I've got so many favorites. All these brands that I spoke about deserves a top 5, and I shall do it for you. You guys stay tuned for the next one. Watch it on Shorts, which is my top 5 Plum products. I shall do one for Juicy Chemistry, and I'll do one for Russ Luxury at the same time. So please subscribe to the channel, because I think these are the brands that are really doing something so innovative when it comes to the beauty industry. They're creating a space that, you know, was such a wide gap back in the day, but it is so nice to see them, you know, bridge that gap. Like Plum, my heart always was with Juicy Chemistry, and I think that will forever continue, because I know the kind of pain that goes behind, the kind of labor of love that goes behind in creating each and every product, because I know the two owners, the husband and wife duo, powerful duo, very dynamic and very, very intelligent. They know their formulation, they know their ingredients, and they do not compromise on it. And that is what the Indian industry right now, at this very moment, there are a few brands that are changing the game, you guys. I've actually seen the beauty industry evolve, and I can't wait to see what the next decade has to offer. In part 2, I'm going to be showcasing and discussing many more Indian brands, especially a few more that are on the same par as international ones. And I'm talking about not dupes, but fantastic alternatives that will make you forget the high-end ones, especially the international ones. So anyone who's got a keen eye on the beauty industry, if you like this video, don't forget to leave your feedback in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share it if you want, and I hope to see you in my part 2. And until later, I love you guys so much. Bye for now.